Alrighty, boys, listen, and listen one more time. We got more updates for Bannerlord, more developer news. They've been posting. I'm telling you, man, they've been going on a posting streak. They said we're going post for post, but we have more news. We have more responses, and a good amount of them actually. This one has a lot on this page, as you can see. Plus, I'm gonna answer 3 questions at the end that you guys have gave me. Give me even more questions. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a lot. If I get a lot of questions, I'll do a quick Q&A like I've done in the past. But keep asking away. By the way, Steam just updated for all my Steam users, so I'm gonna have a lot of Steam updates coming up. Kind of like talking about how different Steam features work. So that is on the way as well. But let's get right to it, okay? So first we have this post right over here. Freelancer implementation in single player. If you don't know, Freelancer is a mod that you can pretty much download for Bannerlord. Obviously, if you're on Steam or Epic Games. I think Epic Games Store can also download mods if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. But it pretty much makes it so you can choose different ways to play the game, like being an individual in an army. A lot of YouTube videos were made of it. The community manager previously has said that currently this is not in their current plans, but we have more things being talked about. So let's see what they're talking about. So first, you have a player asking, I reckon that Freelancer and custom troops are the most requested features after co-op, but I assume that it's unfeasible. Okay. I think it's probably no. I don't think it's probably up there. I think custom troops not that big. Freelancer maybe recently, but the big thing that people always have talked about throughout beta is 2 things. First, more in terms of like kingdom management, kingdom diplomacy. What is it called? Cash's belly, whatever. However you say that, I already know someone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's actually said this way." Whatever. Pretty much more kingdom decisions. That is something that people always said that what's called Bannerlord needs a lot more of. Also, from Warband feasts, and also from early on when they showed like the trailers back in the old times, a long time ago, when trailers came out for before even the beta came out, they showed ship combat, which was cut. I think those are the most important ones that people really wanted to see. But community manager response says, I would say other features are more frequently requested, such as diplomacy-related changes. Boom, would you look at that? And feast. Boom, would you look at that? But I agree, the ability to serve as a soldier is towards the top. Sure, we'll bring it up in a relevant meeting. Oh, snap! So we might get a version of Freelancer in the future. That's actually pretty cool. It's probably not going to be the same as what the mod is, but it might be a different implementation of it, which I think is very, very cool. Nice. So I think it would be kind of like a before mercenary, right? So you can become a mercenary, which is like a sword for hire. You become a vassal, which is pretty much like part of a kingdom, and then you can own your own kingdom. So I'm guessing the option to become like, I guess maybe like a soldier, you probably go and talk to a different clan and be like, hey, I would like to serve under you as a soldier. That could be something pretty cool. It could be the option right before mercenary if you don't actually want to take care of any troops by yourself. Nice. Like to see that. Then we have another person saying, thank you for the response. Excited to see what you have in store for the future development of Bannerlord. Okay, this is just a nice little, you know what I mean? Thank you, back and forth. Cool. And then we have another person saying, this is profoundly tone-deaf decision. In terms of what? In terms of what? Hold on. Did he delete his post? Norman Steele. Brother, did you delete your post? Or I just can't. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. With all due respect, Freelancer and Serve as a Soldier are the most popular mods, and I can attest to that. If you're really saying that there won't be any kind of option going forward, I urge you to reconsider. This is a profoundly tone-deaf decision. Bethesda literally sold the same game 5 times, in large part due to the mods and feedback from the modding community. But, okay, listen. Let me say my piece real quick. Okay, here's my controversial take, right? My most controversial. No, not really controversial. If it's doing so good as a mod, right? Now, I know, for the people who can't download mods, this is detrimental. But if the mod is working perfectly and working so good in condition, intertwined with the game currently, and the devs have other stuff that they're working on, I think it's okay for them to just be like, okay, let the modders deal with that part of the game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know all my Xbox and PlayStation viewers. I know. I wish you guys could have mods too. You know what I mean? That's my little solemn handshake to you guys. I wish you guys can have mods too. I really do. But, you know, companies are greedy, like PlayStation, well, Sony, and Microsoft. They're greedy because, to be honest with you, they probably could implement mods in some form or another, but they don't want to because of their bottom line. And because if the modders make the game better, then, you know, they can't re-release the same game all the time. Well, not re-release, but make a second, third, fourth, fifth version of a game if people are still playing the first game with very good mods. I'm just saying. You know, that's just how it is. But, they did reconsider. This being a profoundly tone-deaf decision, I don't think so. Like I said, if the mod works perfectly with the game and the devs are currently working on something else, in the future, yes, they can still probably, you know, think about it. But if the mod works perfectly, then let the mod do its thing, and they're going to do their thing. You know what I mean? I think that's perfectly fine, in my opinion. But the whole, I don't know if this was meant to, like, solidify his point, but this was a terrible point to make. This whole sentence, bro, just delete it. Bethesda literally sold the same game 5 times, in large part due to the mods and feedback from the modding community. Yes, they sold the game same game 5 times, but they didn't add any of the big mods into the game. What did they add last time they released Skyrim? Fishing? They added like fishing and like 5 new fishes, and they were like, yes, this is fire. Look at this. Out of the thousands and thousands, maybe tens of thousands of mods that were added, we gave you guys fishing in this new iteration of the 5th time we released Skyrim. I don't think this is a good point. Bethesda literally didn't do anything innovative every single time they released Skyrim. They could have remade features. They could have added so much more content. They could have added so much more DLC to Skyrim, but they just re-released it. So I don't think using that as your point is a good one, in my opinion. And I don't think they really cared about feedback from the modding community. I'm sorry to say. Bethesda and caring about what the players want, I'm sorry to say. Maybe back in the day, but now... Oh, no. All right, moving on. So he says it's a profoundly tone-deaf decision. Then the community manager responds, we plan to support Bannerlord well into the future, but with a sandbox game as broad as ours in terms of many different gameplay loops and niche features within it can entail, there are always trade-offs that can be made in regards to work on next and in the long term. Exactly what I said. If they're working on something currently and the mod works perfectly, there's no point to be like, let's completely copy this guy's mod and then just put it in our game to make his mod useless. It doesn't make sense. And in terms of time management, it also doesn't make sense. Why not add extra features so that even more mods can come out to go with those extra features? You know what I mean? If the feature is already there as a mod, how about we work on stuff that isn't a mod yet to even increase the amount of mods in potentially in the future? You know what I mean? Five head. You know what I mean? Big brain thoughts. Sure, the ability to serve as a soldier is a frequently requested feature, but so are many others. As mentioned, we currently don't have any plans, but still may explore it in the future. There you go. So it still might be something in the future. Then we have a person saying FWI. What is that? What is that meaning? For what it's worth. Okay. For what it's worth, would a survey of players' favorite mods be a good idea to gauge what would be popular going forward? Yeah, I guess, but like also like again, if the mod works perfectly, right? And I know. PlayStation and Xbox, obviously they're not going to get it because they can't have mods. And I apologize, but it's like I don't apologize because it's not like my fault that, like I said before, these console companies don't want to actually make the infrastructure and kind of like start on the path of making mods available, or you know, even like having a process where they vet each single mod, or like have a modding team that pretty much says which mods can and can't be used based on the system requirements. It's just shows a lot of laziness. It's not a lack of them not having enough money because they have record profits year over year. It's just them being lazy and not caring for the community. So yeah, but if the mod works perfectly, I think the devs should work on stuff that isn't in the mods and not just try to copy mods. In my opinion, I think it's kind of a waste of time. But the community manager says it may be mentioned as an additional step, but I believe checking the Steam Workshop and other modding platforms to gauge interest probably brings in very similar results. True. You can see the downloads, you can see the likes, nominations, whatever all these different sites have. And then we have the same guy saying, none of this matters though until the sheer amount of bugs are fixed. I can't play for more than 20 minutes without minor bugs, and I can't play for more than an hour without the game breaking bug occurring. That's such cap, bro. Oh, that's such cap. Listen. I have played since the beginning of beta, right? And in times when the game first came out, this is true. You know, I mean, this is true. But in terms of like bugs and crashes, unless you're playing on a save that you have pretty much brought along through like 17 different updates, then yeah, that could happen. You know what I mean? The game is forward compatible, which means like whenever a new update does come out, you can still load your old save and upgrade your save to the new updates. But after like 10 or something updates, just make a new save, my G. It's not worth it no more. You know what I mean? There are going to be bugs there because the game has changed so much since you have begun it, and so much code has been changed. Even though it might still work, there will be those game-breaking bugs. But this concept of like 20 minutes without minor bugs and an hour without a game-breaking bug, I think is a bit of over-exaggeration. Sometimes I've played this game. Well, I have played this game since it has been released. But in terms of playing this game now, or like even on like the past, like I want to say like 8 months, even more, probably like past year, I could play for hours without having like anything game breaking happen. You know what I mean? And I test the different various features of what the game has to offer, so I can make videos on it. So it's like, I think that's a bit of an over exaggeration. It's just ridiculous. I'm currently stuck in a siege, which won't start, surrounded by enemies that are allowed to gather. So now I can't even leave the army with the enemy lurking about. Interesting. Well, I think it's bug report time. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Next, we have another person saying, oh no, this is just him continuing with the bug problem that he's having. Okay, moving on. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that Freelancer might be a thing in the future. Good to see. Next, we have... I think it's this one right over here. Yeah. Okay. We have a person asking, about this big update on all platforms, will our saved games no longer be playable due to various changes in the versions or even become corrupted, or do you recommend starting a new game after this update? And another question, in the case of consoles, won't we have to uninstall the game for this update? Because I was able to see reports and videos that recommend doing that in the case it did not work correctly after the last major update. You might have seen my video, but I meant kind of like Steam. Like, usually... if you're having problems with the game, usually, what's it called? Steam has like a way to like do that. I'm not sure about PlayStation and Xbox, but maybe. But like the dev is gonna say, new patches are save game compatible with your native saves, unmodded from previous versions unless specifically stated otherwise in the patch notes. Example, when they had it like back in the day. Yeah. Every time a new update comes out, you can load your new save in. But again, I caution you, if you've loaded your new save in to like 10 updates, time after time after time, there are going to be bugs in it because a lot of code has changed and some things will break. But if your save is like only like, you know, the past patch or the past 2 patches, you should be fine. But if you want to run into no bugs at all, well, which not no bugs at all, but no bugs at all from moving your save, you can start a new save, but you still can play your old save. Yeah, so you should be fine. You don't have to start a new save unless you want to. I usually start a new save just to see how the start of the game has changed and all that other thing, all those other things. Then we have another person saying, I'm not sure whether it was pointed out, but smithing still has the trash problem in version 1.2.4. I tested with all the weapons and crafted one-handed, two-handed axes, become trash after loading a saved game. There you go. We are aware of this, and the fix is coming for patch 1.2.5. There you go. So that is going to be changed. So if you have a smithing run, you will have to wait a little bit longer for beta 1.2.5, which should be coming out shortly. Next, we have a person saying, no idea if there's an issue I got, but it's supposed to... Wait a minute. No idea if this is just an issue I got, but is it supposed to be a come-of-age event / notification? Because I have no such. So when a clan member turns 18 and I don't pay attention, I miss all it together and might have a clan member just sitting idle. What? I think there is a cutscene for it. I think so. I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken. The community manager says, if either the child's mother or father are in the player clan, it should create a hero coming of age notification. If your issue persists with this condition being met, I suggest creating a report with a save file attached. Yeah, I think but I think it pops up on the right and you have to actually click on it. So if you did miss it, then you missed it. But I think you have to click on it when it pops up on the right. And usually the right notifications that come on the right of the screen, the only way they can get like off of there is if you actively press like the X button on it. So you might have just pressed it, you know, unfortunately. Next, we have saying a person saying notification as a note in the event window or an actual pop-up notification along the lines of the education steps. This is still going off of this, right? He's asking where is the notification being seen, right? And like I stated, he also was going to state, you should be seeing a notification on the right side of the screen. Then when clicked, should play the coming of age cutscene. There you go. Literally what I just said. The right of your screen, one of those circle notifications, you have to click on them. And yeah, then he says, what version are you playing on? And to contact tech support. There you go. Now, moving on, let's talk about some questions. That's kind of all we have right over here. So it looks like Freelancer might become a thing, might not become a thing. For all my smithing players, you got to wait for beta 1.2.5. And also for the notifications, it will be on the right side. There you go. Now, let's go to some questions. First, we have this person saying, because of there being a small chance they die in battle, they make the execution option greatly negative. Talking about how to talking about my video where I say how to destroy clans and kingdoms in Bannerlord, which has been updated recently because now you can officially do it. But first of all, executions have always been very negative in terms of how much relationship you lose. It actually got less negative recently. It used to be even worse, and back in the day, there was literally no chance that enemies can die in battle. So the only way to get rid of them was to either for them to die of old age or for you to execute them, which would incur even more reputation losses. But those two things are not connected because, you know, it's not like since that now they can die there, the execution kind of relationship points were changed. Those are two different factors in the game. But I think both are pretty valid. I think the execution one still should be tweaked a little bit more because it's still random on who gets the relationship loss. I think it should be more calculated so people can calculate who they become enemies with. But the small chance to die in battle, I think, was a good change, a very good change, because, you know, it introduces new lords into the fray, and also old ones. You know what I mean? You can like get into battles with them and take them out, and they have a chance of dying to your hand in the battle, which is pretty cool. Next, person asking wants to know how far away is Council 1.2 update. I know lots of people want to know. Thanks, awesome video by the way. Appreciate it, my guy. But yeah, as this person has responded, Mr. John himself. Dev said November. Yeah, they did say November. And first, we're going to get a new beta 1.2.5. But they said that they are aiming for November, and November is coming in the next 3 days. It might be in the beginning of November, might be in the middle of November, or it might be like the people on the forums are saying on 11/59 on November. Does November have the 31st? Nope, November 30th. But we shall see. Nobody knows yet, but when I get more information on it, then I will let you know. Next, we have a person asking, is there a command for meeting everyone? Like calling a meeting, I'm guessing with every single person, maybe in your clan or something like that. No, there is not. You can call your companions to you through the clan screen. You can kind of tell them to come back to your party. But you have to do that individually. You cannot actually call everyone for a meeting. But it would be kind of cool if you could. Like, you know, everybody, like call for a meeting. Everybody meet at this castle. That'd be kind of a cool little feature. But yeah, there is not one currently. But that's going to do it for me. That is your update. And I will see you in the next one.